Okay, Coach T back with the morning mailbag, and we got a question from Solon out in the Trading Justice Google group, and I want to go over there and read that right now. Solon asked, what does it mean when a stock has increasing volume and slowing momentum? Should we anticipate a massive sell-off? Do we develop a Pavlovian trigger and jump in to sell after confirmation? Also, if it's approaching resistance, which is also its prior 52-week high, does it make a difference or just reinforce what we are anticipating? And Dean actually had a good question. We haven't heard from Solon yet. We may have before this video is posted, but I think it's interesting what Dean's instinct was. He says, Solon, which ticker are you referring to? Because probably Solon's thinking of a stock in particular. That's one that I haven't heard about before. If volume is increasing, then by definition momentum should be increasing. Before I answer this more specifically, I'd like to look at what you're looking at. And I'll beat Dean to the pace here, and I'm sure Dean will also chime in. And we always have good discussions over there in the Google group and the Clubhouse and all that kind of thing. And I ran a scan over at FinViz, by the way, and I tried to find some examples where volume was picking up. I found somewhere it was subtly picking up while you had slowing momentum. Picked up maybe a few weeks ago or in the middle of December with slowing momentum. Most of the time when you have a real big volume bar, Dean's right, you're going to get big volatility from the price, but not always. I have seen what Solon is talking about. And if you ever get into a condition where a stock, and let's draw this a different way, slowing momentum by the definition is when the runs become smaller to the upside. You see how those boxes, big move, big, a little bit of a lesser move, small move, itty bitty move. That by definition is slowing momentum. You will see that on the chart every now and then. Now, in this condition up here, this will develop a few different patterns. You'll have head and shoulders patterns developing, like this one that I've drawn. Okay, you'll have these types of patterns developing, or you could have double tops or triple tops or triangles. I mean, they all come in the same form or fashion, just subtle differences in how we label them. If, for whatever reason, Solon, you did see the volume pick up on some random days, 1 or 2 or 3 days, or maybe a cluster of volume that came in, it most likely was stock news. And most likely those were institutional transactions from one firm to the other. Now, that doesn't necessarily tell us whether it's going to be a bullish move from here or there. We don't know if it's going to break out or break down. A lot of times these moves may have been like earnings guidance, or the stock released some kind of new product, but the market was fighting against it, and so it didn't really create the volatility in the price that we were looking at. Really all it does for me when I see this condition is it makes me need to dig into the news more on the specific days that you're looking at. So if I'm looking back and this day was the 9th of January, this day was the 11th of January, or whatever it was, just for an example, I would go back and I would look at those specific days to see what happened so I could put some context as to why the slowing momentum is changing. Volume's an indication of participation. It's not necessarily bullish or bearish. Just because a red volume bar comes in, remember, to make a transaction, you always have to have equal traders on one side and the other. So you have to kind of dig in and wrap your head around why that transaction is being made. Okay, quick morning mailbag post from Coach T at Tackle Trading. You can visit us in the Clubhouse at tackletrading.com. Catch our videos, our blogs, our coaches' shows, our podcast, the Trading Justice Podcast, which is a 5-star rated podcast on iTunes. And we will see you again back here probably tomorrow. Get in the game.
Get off the sidelines and take control of your financial future at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.